Okay, so I'm still going with these questions. I could be doing this for a while. I've got one here. My dog resource guards. She snaps at the other dog if she has something of value and she takes things from them. Resource guarding is inherently dangerous, and the vast majority of the videos that I see on resource guarding on this app, and certainly the vast majority of questions I get, are in relation to dogs resource guarding from humans. However, resource guarding from another dog is just as likely, and if anything really does make sense, because that other animal that lives within your home is a competition for those resources. That's what resource guarding stems from. So the difficulty that I have with a lot of the kind of videos and advice that's given on resource guarding online is that it is about kind of telling the dog off and telling the dog and putting them in their place and being the alpha and dominating them. Actually, if we look at the underlying motivation behind that behaviour, resource guarding stems from a fear that somebody's going to take something from me that I want to keep. So for me, it's chocolate. Okay, I am an absolute chocoholic. I do not share chocolate. I do not like to share chocolate. And I squirrel it away, which is what a lot of dogs do. So when you're seeing dogs that are taking something, if they're maybe going and burying it and they're not necessarily eating it, so things like pig's ears, high value treats, can be toys, if they're going and they're cashing it away and they're putting it away, okay, that is them trying to prevent somebody else from taking it. I do exactly that with my chocolate. I have a secret stash. At one point, I was known to have Whisper Gulls hidden in the glove box of my car so that nobody else could eat them. Bit ridiculous. And I wouldn't actually, I'd hope I'd never get to the point where I was aggressive over it, but I've probably said some unpleasant words. So I'd probably be vocalising as a dog with my resource guarding, but I may not actually have got to the point of biting or hitting someone for taking my chocolate, but they would definitely have regretted taking my chocolate because I'd have sulked and been unpleasant for a long time. Anyway, I digress. So it is a perfectly normal behaviour. What I would suggest is this. First of all, do make sure that you are seeking appropriate advice. As I've said in all of these videos recently, I can't give specific advice for your case because I've not seen the dogs and I don't have the relevant information. However, resource guarding is not without risk. So if you are trying to implement a resource guarding protocol and you're trying to make this situation better, you are literally putting yourself into the firing line and you could potentially get injured, particularly because you're not an expert, I assume, and because of that, you don't necessarily have the best understanding of dog body language. And when it comes to resource guarding and what we need to do, we need to be intervening and structuring our training programs based around the really low level signs. So if the dog is getting to the point where they're snapping at the other dog, you're not intervening soon enough. Okay, there will be more subtle signs that the dog is starting to guard and you need to find them.